Tonight, Governor Gina Raimondo is trying to balance the ongoing risk from COVID-19 with the ongoing protests and frustration with the bans on large gatherings. I'm Shannon Heggie.
And I'm Mike Montecalvo. The governor has announced plans to expand testing for the virus as part of an early warning system. The Rhode Island Department of Health reported another 10 people with the virus have died. The state's death toll now nearly 800. But the number of people in the hospital fell quite a bit from the number that was last reported on Friday.
The governor also faced more questions about not wearing a mask when she appeared at the protest in Providence Friday night. Eyewitness News reporter Kim Kalunian joins us now from the State House.
Well, Shannon and Mike, today's press briefing was the first since Friday's massive protest here at the Rhode Island State House. The governor's own appearance at that rally sparking some criticism. It was a hot topic, as you mentioned at today's briefing. The governor revealing that she will now be tested for the coronavirus.
The governor and state health leaders announcing a major expansion of testing to people who aren't sick, including the thousands who attended Black Lives Matter rallies.
We are recommending testing for people who have gone to a large demonstration over the last few days.
Dr. Nicole Alexander Scott and the governor say they will follow their own guidance.
My husband and daughter and I are going to get tested later this week. Dr. Nicole Alexander Scott and members of her team who were there passing out literature. We are all going to get tested this week. And of course, if we test positive, we'll go into isolation.
The governor's impromptu appearance on Friday night drawing criticism from some after she failed to wear a face mask and embraced those standing next to her, violating her own mandates.
So look, it was clearly a mistake on my part. I shouldn't have done it.
The governor says an estimated 20,000 people demonstrated at various rallies across the state in the past 10 days, and she wants them to be among the 900 asymptomatic people per day the state now aims to test. This so-called early warning system initiative will expand free testing at National Guard sites to various groups, including close contact workers like barbers and gym employees and those who work in childcare.
What happened all over the country before was that the virus got out of hand. It ran away with itself, and so we had to shut everything down. But if we do enough testing of people who don't have symptoms, we can catch it early enough and then try to put a lid on the spread. And God forbid, if we have to close anything again, we'll close just a town, just a business, just an industry.
And we have more information on how you can schedule a test right now on WPRI.com.
First tonight, the governor and the Rhode Island Department of Health are launching what they call an early warning system to contain future COVID-19 outbreaks.
And they want to expand testing to those without symptoms, including anyone who took part in protests over the week. Eyewitness News reporter Kim Kalunian joins us now live from the State House. Kim?
Well, Mike and Shannon, that's right. The governor and her family, as well as Dr. Nicole Alexander Scott, will now all be tested for coronavirus after attending Friday night's massive protest here at the Rhode Island State House. Health officials say that they will be watching closely to see if there is a spike in cases associated with the protests we've been seeing statewide over the last week or so. And today, the governor addressed people's frustrations over seeing these protesters breaking social distancing mandates. And I also asked the doctor, what would it mean if we don't see a spike in cases associated with these protests? Here's what she had to say.
If there is not a spike, it will be reassuring that it works. When you wear a mask, when you wear a cloth face covering, do your best to stay 6 feet apart. It was definitely challenging, but also have access to hand sanitizer, stay within small groups where you can, don't overmingle with multiple different sets of people. That can make a difference, and that's what we believe we are seeing as part of why there is an increase as of yet. It requires us to continue to watch, to continue to be vigilant, but it is encouraging for people to know that when you wear your masks, when you follow these rules, it works. And there's always that risk profile. If you let up on certain things, there's going to be more of a risk. But we can say, and our team was there making sure everyone who didn't had masks, we offered it to law enforcement too where we could, that the overwhelming number of peaceful participants had masks on.
I hear I hear people being frustrated. If they can do that, why can't I do this? The protests were in clear violation of the gathering. Having said that, I'm not sure what the alternative was. I was in, the direction that I gave to the Guard and the state police was de-escalate, de-escalate, de-escalate. We didn't want violence. We didn't want to have to hold people back. So I don't think it's equivalent to compare a wedding to this protest at a moment of national unrest.
Also today, the governor says Rhode Island has the highest per capita testing rate, and she says the good news is that over the past week or so, we've seen between a 3% and 5% positive rate. That's compared with a more than 20% positive rate just a month and a half ago. Live at the State House, I'm Kim Kalunian, Eyewitness News.